looks like maybe we are live. So, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday night live stream. I'm Steve, K5ACK. I appreciate y'all being here. Excuse me. Tonight we're tackling something a little bit more complicated than sometimes that we do. We're taking a Raspberry Pi from just out of the box, going through how to image the operating system and stuff on there, then going through learning how to VNC into it, and then we're going to install the Build-A-Pi suite from Jason KM4ACK. The links for all the Raspberry Pi stuff that I'm using will be down in the description below, as well as the links to like Jason's website and his GitHub and stuff like that, where we get this stuff from. A couple things I want to shout out first. First, a big thank you to Randall Hensley. He's our newest patron. Randall, we appreciate it. Thank you for your support. It means a bunch. The kids at school will definitely appreciate that as well. And also to Don Izzo. Don recently, Def Leppard, bro. Don recently sent me a box of goodies for the classroom. And inside that box of goodies, there's an ICOM IC92AD. It's a D-Star radio. We did not have a D-Star radio in the school shack, so this will definitely go to good use with some of those kids. And there's a treasure trove of stuff in the box. I can't show you all of it, but a couple DV dongles. There's a Raspberry Pi in there. Just all kinds of goodies. A couple antennas are down in there. And it's just, Don, you don't understand just what that means to me and to the kids. So thank you very much. And y'all in the chat, go ahead and give Don an attaboy, because it is very much appreciated. We're going to kind of mix things up in the order, because some of the things, having talked to Jason this week about whether or not I could fit all of what I wanted to show you into the hour live stream, we're not sure we're going to make it or not. And we had talked about maybe pre-imaging some of the stuff on the card, but I really want to take the time and show folks who are new to all of this stuff how to get everything from scratch and on. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can't tackle that. And so the order may be a little bit off there. I will go ahead and say there is a Patreon link down below. If you feel so inclined to help the school radio club out, we would definitely appreciate it. Same thing, there's an Amazon affiliates link down below. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does, pay a little bit to help support the club that way as well. And also, please hit that like button, hit subscribe. We do appreciate it. So, all right, so let's get this show on the road here. Let's see who we've got in the house. Let's see, Steve, KM4ACK. What's up, Steve? Craig's here. Jason, the big man himself. And let's see, Smoking Ape, Izzy's here. My man Bill, Terry, Andy. Hey guys, good to see y'all. And Don Gibbs is here. So appreciate y'all being here this evening. And we may have a stumbling point or two. We'll just figure this out as we go. So I have used Raspberry Pis in the classroom before, but I've never run them headless and done it VNC. So I learned how to do that for purposes of this and for purposes of just being able to use it at school. Like everything else in ham radio, it's one of those things where if you're not constantly trying to learn something new, then just kind of stagnant. So I'm going to try to hopefully teach a couple of y'all something new, something that I learned how to do. And just another shout out to Jason KM4ACK. Appreciate all the help and support on getting this going here. So Mike K4ABX, good to meet you, man. All right, so let's see. So where to start? One of the first things you're going to have to do is download the software. Let me shrink myself, because y'all really don't want to look at me for this long. Y'all are going to see more of me tomorrow than you anticipated anyway in that premiere. Shower time, baby. All right, so one of the first things you're going to want to do is head over to raspberrypi.org. Mike K and MRD is in the house. So when you get over to raspberrypi.org, and I've already pre-downloaded this part because while typically my internet's really solid, I typically have a gig up and a gig down. You know how that works. The one time I'm banking on it going fast, it doesn't. So head to raspberrypi.org, click downloads, and come down to the colorful raspberry. Don't hit news. And Jason will tell you also, not sure, there are some issues apparently with the noob stuff and working with his package. And then you've got a couple options down here. You've got the desktop with all the recommended software. This is the one I normally install when I'm just messing around with these things at school. But Jason recommends going with the PiOS with just the desktop without all that bloatware stuff in there. So that's when we're going to download. Like I said, we've already got it downloaded, but yeah, internet's not going to be all that fast tonight, so we'll cancel it. Okay, and once you do that, we're going to have to download one other piece of software, and that's, I think you pronounce it Balena Etch or Balena Etch, however you want to say it. And I'll throw this link down there also. If you go to balena.io/etcher, okay, you're going to want to download this software for whatever platform you're using, and I've already got it installed, so we're not going to download that again. And then I need to do a little camera magic here. All right, let me get my keyboard out of the way. Okay, so we've got the Raspberry Pi, and this is an empty SD card. Okay, and then I've just got a little USB adapter to plug in. You're going to slide it down in there, and you're just going to plug this into a USB port. Now, if you're doing this on a laptop or whatever, sometimes your laptop will already, it'll have a little slot that you can do that with, so you can bypass doing it by USB. But I'm not. Let's see, what's Mike saying? Watching what I already know I need to do. I've got the Pi 4 with a couple versions of the software. So, yeah, we're about to play with this and see what we get here. So, all right, so once you do that, and let me swap back over. Okay. All right, so this is Balena Etcher, and so to etch or to image the files onto the SD card, you're just going to click Flash from File. Like I said, I already downloaded that. It's that one right there. And you're going to click Open, and I'm actually going to let this run by itself. You can see this is going to take 3.83 gigs, and I've got 32 gigs available. And then all you have to do is just click Flash. You can tell it, yeah, that's fine. And it's going to run there. So while it runs there for a minute, we are going to switch back to here, and we're going to do some heat sinking and whatnot. So what I did is I just bought the Cana kit. It's just the 2 gig model. I just bought it, and that's what we're going with. So I forgot how much I paid for it. There are a couple options in the Amazon links down below. Again, it comes with a little case, comes with a little fan, and so we're just going to quickly go ahead and put this little dude in the case here. The heat sinks go. Of course, I don't have fingernails, so we're going to see if I can get these things peeled off of here. I may have to recruit help from the child unit. Okay, you've got, it's like the 3 little bears. You've got, Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear. Okay, let me see if I can zoom you down a touch more so you can see a little better. Okay, and the way this goes is, this is actually the CPU, the little silver square chip. And we're going to stick, well, maybe we're going to stick. Come on. Here we go. Maybe not. This is where having fingernails, I guess, would be useful. There it is. Alright, and pull off the blue backing, and of course now it's going to stick to you. And you're just going to stick that dude onto that CPU. And all that these heat sinks do is, if you don't know what these do, it just kind of increases the amount of surface area that the heat can dissipate over, so air can move around it better and help keep things a little bit cooler. Not as cool as me, but you know, pretty cool anyway. The rectangle one goes over the, wait for it, the rectangle chip that's right next to it. Just kind of drop that dude down in there, and don't worry about it if you don't get it perfectly straight. It's not that big of a deal, as long as you're on the chip there. And then the itty bitty one, which is especially itty bitty in my fingers, goes, alright, there's two little square chips here, and it goes on this larger of the two small ones there. And of course, getting it on there is going to be a little bit of a, I made it. Alright, and so that's all there is to that. Now, it also came with a fan, and I'm going to go ahead and use the fan that came with it. I have a little power converter thing that I'm going to get, and let's see, I think if I remember right, 4 and 6, I think. So this bottom left pin is 1. Okay, so your red pin goes on pin 4, and your black pin goes on pin 6. Now I'm going to cheat real quick and make sure I got that right, because I'm only a few pots of coffee into my day, like 5 or 6. Okay, so yeah, the red pin goes on 4, black pin goes on 6, and then this is actually just going to mount up in here. So I will tell you, don't try to get this thing into the bottom of the case when the SD card's in there, because it can kind of get janky, get to be a mess. The SD card's going to actually slide in underneath this thing. So what you're going to do is just kind of nestle it down in there. That's a good word for it. And you'll see now that the SD card slot is kind of showing through that little slot there. And then this big old top piece, okay, pull my fan out of there, it's just going to kind of fit down on top like that. And then the fan actually has these little mounting holes there where you can screw it in there. And it's got these little clips to kind of hold it in place. And see if I can get that the right way. And bada bing, bada boom, do the fandango. There it is. So that's in there with the fan. We'll pop back over and see. Yeah, I only refer to them. Yeah, well, with electronic stuff, and especially stuff that I'm a little scared of messing up, I figured I'd go ahead and check on that. And you can see it's almost done flashing, so we timed that almost about right. So once that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to pop that SD card out, and we're going to, well, actually, we're not going to pop it out yet. There's one more thing we have to take care of. So then we're going to get this thing booted up. All right, let's see what I'm missing here in the chat. Looks like it's rolling. Watch what right now. Yeah, right there. Oklahoma Ham Radio. Good to have you tonight, man. Yeah, I heard those Pi 4s do get toasty, so the heat sink and the fan, we'll see how that does. I actually have the trusty Swiss Army knife right here. It's usually used for opening beverages. Yeah, you're not going to move it. Once that, you can OCD over that heatsink. It's staying that way. You might not have noticed, but my finger kind of hardly feels through. Fits down in there. All right, and now it's going through. It's just validating the image on there. You're broken. You will survive, Mike. I promise. So, all right, 26%. So, sounds like it's time for a little bit of Joe. Go ahead and give it a little teaser. I tested out that Radiodity GS5B, and it holds up to the water test. I can tell you that much. Premiere that tomorrow. Shower time, baby. You guys got to quit sweating. Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking, Jason. Is it's on there. It's dissipating the heat. I mean, of course, my wife tells me the same thing. You could have just put it right here. It's close. Of course, then I told her my shack's kind of sort of straightened up, and it's not. In some things, it may be the little details. I don't know that it's the little details in everything. Yeah, that's a good point, Craig. Is the nice thing about a Raspberry Pi is the entire OS is on that little SD card. So if you screw something up, you just format the SD card and flash it again. It's no big deal. I mean, SD cards are cheap nowadays. So Black Friday you can get them for like $4 each for a decent one. So Stephen Edwards, good to have you, man. Appreciate you being here. So 82, 83. This is the part that I toss back and forth on whether or not to have it already imaged or not. And I was like, well, I really want folks to be able to see this part because, well, some folks just need to see it. Go ahead and tell you I sustained a wound filming that thing yesterday. I cut my head shaving. Alright, and finishing. Finish him. Alright, so there it is. Alright, so one other thing we're going to do first is we're going to pop over to there. So let me open up my thing here. Maybe. It is not wanting to see it. This is, here we go. Alright, there it is. Alright, so next what you're going to want to do is open up that, head into Costco, got to stock up, man. Go ahead and open that SD card in your Windows Explorer or whatever flavor it is you would do. Bellina. Okay, and for Windows, you're just going to right-click somewhere in one of the empty spots there. You're going to hit New, and you're going to hit Text Document. And I need to get my trusty keyboard back. And we're just going to call this SSH and hit Enter. Okay, and that's just the I know a chick named Bellina. That's just the way that now we've enabled SSH on it. And so now what we can do is we can pop this thing out and get ready to boot this Pi up. So let me close that. Alright, so it comes with a USB-C power, and for the first time I'm plugging it into an Ethernet cable. Pop that dude out. And we're going to slide that SD card right in the slot there. Okay, and plug it in. Okay, and it's booting. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at how to VNC into it. So let's see, somebody else showed up. Joseph Collins, good to have you, man. So I can tell you this KM4ACK's package of stuff is it's pretty solid. And it's pretty self-explanatory once you get your Pi set up and ready to go. I will tell you that the actual full install of all of his stuff takes longer than the live stream would. I was going to try to fit it all in there, but just the install itself was an hour and something for all that stuff. So I do have another one image so we can see what it looks like when it's done. So K4ACK, welcome, my man. All right, so that's booting up. What was I doing? Oh, all right. So what you need to do is you need to download a VNC viewer. The one I chose to use was Real VNC. Whichever one floats your boat. Get that out of the way. It doesn't really matter that much, but that's just the one I went with. And oh, didn't mean to do that. Sorry, I'll get back later. All right, and here is where we're gonna. Oh, I didn't. Sorry, I got my display off. All right, this is the Real VNC viewer. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna end up putting the IP address for the Raspberry Pi in there. Now, one of the things that you need to be able to do is figure out what your IP address is. So, the way I do it here now, depending what flavor of internet you have, for me to get that, it's 192.168.1.254. It helps if I could do it without hitting the button. There you go. And that brings that up. And then I hit device list. And then there's a bunch of devices on here, so I'm just going to search for Raspberry. And it comes up and it's at 192.168.1.188. So what we're going to do is go over to our VNC viewer. And I actually already have one set up for that because it's in the same Ethernet port as what I set up last time. Maybe. Check that because something's not wanting to work. .192.1.188. So we'll just type it in again just to see. Whisper. Alright. You know what? It is the VNC server. Oops, I forgot to do that step. Thank you. That's what's good about having Jason in the house. So let me shut dude off. I did enable SSH, but I did not do the config step in there. Well, no, I thought the config step went. Let me find my cheat sheet of notes. Yeah, let me. Alright, so. Mid-2000. Let's see here. Yep, I forgot that step. I didn't write it down, so let me jump back in there real quick. Oh, let's see. Oh, that's right. I do it from my command, my terminal. I forgot that. Sam, welcome, man. All right, so from a terminal, I go to SSH Thank y'all for being there, because you know what? I did forget. And it's actually written down. I just skipped over it somehow. .1.188. Cannot resolve host name. Oh, because I typed it wrong. SSH. Pi at 192.168.1.188. Hang on. That's my screw up. That's my screw up. Because I forgot I turned it. Give it a second here. Forgot I turned it off, so I've got to let it come back up. This is why we're learning this. So I don't know how long it takes to boot up. So I'm not sure what is it. Let's see. Warning: remote host identification has changed. It's probably someone is doing something nasty. Someone could be. Add the correct host key. Alright, this is new. This didn't happen to me. So Jason, what we got, man? It's also possible that the host key has just been changed. The fingerprint with the. Is it because it's on the same IP address as last time and I re-imaged it? Give it a second for him to. You have two keys set for two pies with the same host name. Alright, so how do I flush those keys? Because I haven't had to do this. Because this didn't happen to me before, so this is a new thing. So this is why we're learning, y'all. So what do I have to do here to flush those keys? Or I can just change the port it's in. I would change the IP address. Go to that directory and you run a Mac. Alright, so go to, let's see, it's going to be, I can't hardly see it. Alright, so CD, it's been a minute since I've done this. Let's see, where is it? CD : // oh, it's already there, so C : user / Goodgame. Open File Explorer. Alright, so here we go. Alright. CDs. So I can do that from here. Okay. What do I have in here? No, I don't see user. Let me hop here. Whew. Hang on, let me do it on this side. Alright, so now we're thinking that should work. Hang on, let me. Alright, here we go. So now I have to do that. Thank y'all. Sudo sb config. Alright, so I need to enable VNC, which was that network, I think. Advanced. Where's the? I know I have to change the resolution. Then interface VNC enable. Finish, reboot. Alright, appreciate that. Like I said, that's why we experiment. That's why we learn new stuff. Alright, so now it's rebooting. And I'm not sure how long it takes to boot, so we'll give it a minute. That calls for a drink of coffee. Alright, so it tells you, don't worry about that. Put your password in. We're not in Lord Callum's neck of the woods. Go with Chicago here. Yep, nothing like live streaming. That's alright. That's how we learn new stuff. And we're gonna stick a new password here. And we're gonna go and give it. I don't think it'll show up on there, but I'm gonna. See if I type that right. Alright, so it's going to run a quick update, and this didn't take long. Alright, and while that's doing that, we're going to go ahead and open in here, if it let me. Looks like it's going to make me wait. Alright, so start up Chromium, their flavor of internet browser. And we're going to go to github.com/ KM4ACK. And I will go ahead and say, now that the VNC is set up there, you can actually just get into it. So obviously, I don't have a monitor or anything on here, so I can get into it back and forth. I am glad I learned about those keys and whatnot, because I had no idea. So always good to learn something new. So when you get here, you're going to scroll down to Pi build. Okay, and then you scroll, and then you're going to come across this line of text that you need. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this. And then up here I'm going to open a terminal window. And I'm going to paste this. And I learned the hard way that you can't Control V to paste here. You actually have to right click and paste. And let that dude run. And it's going to sit there and chew on this thing. Ooh. Locale. Boy, this is just going to be the learning experience of the evening, isn't it? This didn't happen yesterday. Alright, could not get locked on front end. Resource temporarily unavailable. Maybe it's because we're updating stuff. Is it still updating, John? No, maybe that's it. Maybe I need to wait for it to... I've never messed with putty for that, so... Yeah, I knew you said that it would actually do it, so I guess I could have said no there, but I didn't think it... I don't remember. Did it not get an option there? I guess I could have hit skip. So yeah, so we're going to have to wait for the updates to finish. This did take but a minute. Day before yesterday, whenever it was I messed with this, but of course now it seems to be crawling. So let's check and see what we've got in the chat. Where's the any key? It's only on max. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait for that to finish up. But what's gonna happen is when you put that in there, it'll download all of the software and whatnot and begin the installation process. And then all you're gonna have to do is type your call sign in, and it will start that installation process. That installation process, like I said, depending what you're going to put on there, yeah, it's going to take a while. I've actually got one that's flash that's already going, but just to be blunt, I have a feeling if I plug it in and try to VNC into it, it's going to get janky on me, so we'll have to see. So I'm going to let it run for a second and see what happened. Oh, it's moving now, so we should be all right. Although I do need to refill the... Give me a minute to get some coffee. Do the kids get a hold of you about the 20 meter? Yeah, Bill, somebody emailed me. I emailed them back. I haven't heard back from them since then. But, you know, they are kids. For those of you who are curious, the child unit is trying to start her own kind of kids net. Well, she and a couple of her ham friends, T.O.'s kid and whatnot, trying their own kind of kids HF net. They kind of want to keep it kind of like a girls net, because there's just not a whole lot of girls in ham radio related, as you know, in relation to how many boys there are. So they're trying to get the stuff up and running there with a little net. So we'll see how that goes. But they've started calling their own girls net the last couple weeks. And of course, it's just them checking in, because I haven't really advertised it anywhere for them or had them advertise it anywhere, because I'm letting them get used to kind of the process of how to do that. So, yeah, Windows update's always the most inopportune time. My wife never understands why I want to come in here and restart the computer the morning of any damn doing live streams or anything like that, because as fate would have it, if you restart it, you know, an hour or so before, it's got a 2-hour Windows update.
And since Ape says I'll have the key issue again, I'll just hang it here and let it run for a minute. Like I said, it didn't take very long. Let's see, KM4ACK, my call sign changed to W5OHR. There you go. Yeah, any questions y'all have for Jason? We kind of have a captive audience right now. So you have questions on how any of that stuff works, the expert is in the house. So, take that opportunity and use it. So, and I'll go ahead and throw it out there. If you do use his script and his stuff that he's got going, consider going over to his channel, give him a subscription if you don't already have it, and maybe throw him a little Patreon, because he spends a good bit of time working on this stuff. So here we go. Now it's cooking. Craig says, trying to get my teen daughters to join if they're looking for others. Yeah, so do they, Craig, do they not have a call sign yet? Yeah, I mean, it's no big deal, because obviously you can be there and be their control operator and run it for them. So, all right, so it says setup's complete. To run up the corner, restart. So we'll hit the restart, let the thing reboot. That wasn't too bad. I wouldn't want to do it over dial-up, though, or satellite internet on a cloudy day. One is an extra and one is a tech. So there you go. So they can both be in, the extra can act as the control op for the tech. They've been calling it on Tuesday nights, I think at 9 p.m. And hang on, I gotta log back in here because I changed the password. And all right, so that'll take care of the desktop. Y'all need to log in. Oh, he's doing that. All right, so here from the command line, of course I restarted it, so I need to go get my copy paste. You could type all this hot mess in there, but no. All right, so github.com/KM4ACK. Go to PyBuild. Scroll down to that line of text you need. Hop back over to your terminal window and paste it in. Oh, it's because I already started it. TO, good thing. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this one out. I'm going to pop in, well, the working one here, and we'll show you what it looks like, because this is my issue here, I think, because I started it while the updates were running. Although I guess I can just remove that directory, can't I? It's Linuxy, so been a minute on the Linux. Let's see, what is it, LS to get directories? And I think I can just, is it RD, RM? I think it's RM, isn't it, to remove the... Somebody help me out. Is it RM space pi/build to just delete that whole directory so I can start it over? So, lesson that you learned, don't start trying to run this thing while it's still updating, because you jack it up. RM/RF / path to file. So that little tilde, is that what that is? pi/build. Oh, it didn't like the tilde. I didn't think there was a tilde there last time. Alright, so now I think it's gone. Nope, it's still there. What did I do wrong? RM space /RF Is that a hyphen or a tilde that you're throwing out there, Jason, before the Pi build? An alias for my home directory. Need a space after the RF. And then I just put pi-build, right? Pi-build. Oh, so I had to put a space, then a tilde. Got it. Cannot remove it because it's not empty. So RM. Let me see what I. Yeah, I'm trying to see where I forgot the. There it is. All right, I forgot the. Oh, I deleted the. I deleted it when I did. Spaced it out somehow. There we go. So now it should be gone, right? All right. So now I should be able to run that. There you go. Just took a hot minute. So, all right. So lesson learned there was don't start the install while it's still updating all the other junk. And apparently you can. Yeah, the Linux is weak with this one. It has been a lot of years since I've Linuxed. That's a new word, Linuxed. But and it's going to run like that. And when it's done, we'll show you what it's going to look like. And I'm actually going to swap these things out. All right, so it says it takes 4 hours to complete. It brings up that nice little warning here. It says, hey, drop them a tip at paypal.me/KM4ACK. And click continue, and you're going to put your call sign in here. Okay, and when it brings this up, you can check. This is the one where you, depending what you check and what you don't check, is what's going to take long. Ooh, I just hit the wrong thing there. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? And it wants my Wi-Fi. Whoop, my Wi-Fi thing here. Y'all fixing to see my Wi-Fi. You know what? I'm gonna turn that off for a second. Hey. Alright, let me turn that back on. Alright, so then you can start checking all the stuff that you want to put in there. You definitely want to have the FL rig and the FL Digi. All this other stuff is up to you. And click next. This is the part that the FL Digi stuff would take a while to add on here. Let's see. Jason had said Zaster can take a while to put in there, but if you're just going to leave it running, what does it matter anyway? But take whichever ones you want. Just hit ham clock size. We're going to go with small just because. And I did that same thing again. This one, I don't have a WinLink password, so I'm going to put password, like he said. These are just some other little dealy boppers you can select. And now as it runs through it, it starts giving fun facts about KM4ACK. Like there are over 1,500 lines of code in Build-A-Pi. So, wow. So, let's see what we got. Dennis in the house. Welcome, ma'am. I got one of those PBA. you actually like that PBR hard coffee. It was way too sweet. It doesn't taste like beer at all. But it's just way too sweet. Let's see, Dennis is here. Dizzo in the hizzo. Alright, and so that's going to run through there. Like I said, this is going to take hours to actually complete. And I have another one imaged here, but like I said, I'm a little bit concerned about the little key thing. It may not like the key. So we'll just have to wait and see. You know what? We're going to do it anyway, because like I said, it's on a SD card, so it's not like I can't reflash it. So pop that bad boy off. And we are going to see if we can get into this one. I've still got so I can show you what it looks like when it's done. It's gonna melt its brain here. I really should close that. Just have a Miller and a shot of Jaeger. Yeah, now that PBR hard coffee is rough. So alright, and we're gonna see if we can do this wirelessly. Hey, it worked. I didn't have the little issue. Alright, so once you've got it up, this is what it looks like. So, you've got your little clock over here, the Zulu time and whatnot. Little process stuff running. You've got down here ham radio, and here's where you start to get some of the different tools and stuff that you can use. Chirps on here, so everybody needs to program their Fang with it. And some of this stuff I haven't even. Dipole calculator, if you can't do the math on a calculator, you have a dipole calculator that can do it for you. So yeah, I need to tinker with it, but ham clock. So anyway, so that's where all the tools are. Now I'm not going to go into all the details about each one because, well, one, I haven't used all of them. I've used some of them. And the other thing is, there's other folks out there that are definitely more knowledgeable on some of those tools than I am. So I just wanted to kind of show the basics of how to. You made it. Welcome, Jason. How to get it there. And like I said, you're going to run into a couple little hiccups like that, like we did tonight. And like I said, that's kind of why, you have a group of folks, because appreciate y'all's help getting that stuff straightened out, because it would have taken me a hot minute of Googling to figure out the whole key thing. But, yep, so let's see what I missed in here. Haven't had a Jaeger in a minute. It's been a lot longer than a minute for me. I could be K6 Arco in the Parco. Maybe MGD. Ooh, MGD. Bad memories. Issue is with SSH, not ANC. Oh, that's okay. Late, but made it. And yeah, there's other stuff in there. And I'm going to tinker around with this. I literally just learned how to do this the other day after having Jason on the live stream a couple weeks ago. I went and ordered a Pi 4 to play with, and I was like, you know what? Getting the thing set up, I'm like, I'm just going to throw this out there because it's been a hot minute for me. And was it Ape that said, the Linux is weak with this one? Yeah, the Linux is weak with this one, but that's kind of the thing. So if you run into those errors on your stuff, well, now you know how to fix them, courtesy of, Jason and Ape and T.O. and everybody else who threw all that out there. We appreciate it. See if I missed anybody in the chat. Jason's here. T.O.'s here. Yeah, I was going to try to make your live stream today too, Jason, but I had mother-in-law duty, and I actually have a cool mother-in-law, so I didn't want to skip on the mother-in-law duty. So, yeah, that's the first thing I noticed when I booted it up is I like the clock. It's, I do need to tinker with resolution and messing around with stuff like that, but I like the clock. I'm going to play with getting this thing, doing some FT8 and whatnot. That's Conky running on the desktop giving all the info. So this is the Conky module here that's doing that. So, which is pretty cool. Let's see what else is down there. Because I've got to fix the resolution on this, obviously. So it's got the... But that's pretty cool. So, 4 gig has 2 gig. I'm running this with 2 gigs, and it's in the Amazon affiliate links down below. I don't remember what it was. I think it was only like $60 maybe. I don't remember. You can buy it just the bare bones system, and I bought the 2 gig one just to mess with it. I'll try to get some 4 gig ones for the classroom for school. And in fact, Izzy threw a Raspberry Pi. I don't know what version that one is, but that's the question: is what's the oldest version of Raspberry Pi this stuff will run on, Jason? Since you're here, can I stick it on those 3s I have and go, or whatnot? I'll have to check yours out since it's just that. Yeah, FT8 POTA. I've kind of wanted to do it, so I take that little laptop now with us for logging, so I could make that happen probably. That'd be kind of cool. So it'll work on Pi 3 too, which I've got 4 or 5 Pi 3s at school. So I can go ahead and do that. Not very well on a Pi 2, so I'd have to look and see what version this is that Izzy sent. But all right, so there you've got it. So obviously it works on a Pi 4, and it'll work on a 3. And TO's doing it on a 3B plus. I think it's a 3B plus or pluses that I have it at school there. So yeah, FT8 POTA is less fun, and that's part of the fun of POTA to me is the actual quick little contacts and the pileups and stuff. And pileups just aren't nearly as fun FT8 wise, but at the same time, I kind of want to get Child Unit into some of the digital stuff so she can see that there are more than one ways to skin a cat. Because the digital stuff, while FT8's not by any means my favorite mode, because I don't know, it's just not. It's just click, 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 click. All those digital modes do have their place. We'll support more GPS units, still in beta at the moment. So yep, you've still got Jason in here captive for a couple more minutes. If you have any more questions, we'll leave it in there. Well, Jerica knows how to do it. She's done it. It's just, she's been in here when I did it more like, she's seen it, although I don't remember if I've shown her FT8 or not. I know that it's been a minute, but PSK31 she's done with me because she's thinking the astrophysics line. At least she's a teenager, so she varies in what she wants to do, going from astrophysics to pre-med. It's like, what? How do those two jive? So now I don't think the cost difference was that much for the difference between a Pi 3 and a Pi 4, though. So I would think if you're buying a Pi, those of you who are looking to grab one, you might as well spend a few bucks extra and get the 4, because it'll, like somebody said earlier, future-proof it. But Sam, be warned, you'll get addicted to the fun. Oh yeah, you will get addicted to POTA. Now I've never done soda, but yeah, Sam, you get on POTA and you're going to be hooked. And that's one of the things that I'm disappointed I didn't get to do with my kids at school this year was any POTA like stuff, because that's where I need a call-in number. Yeah. But that's where a lot of the kids and stuff, are going to have fun with it. So yeah, I've got the links, Joseph, down below in the description there to a couple of those kits, and I think I put a barebone one down in there too. So you can check those out, and if those don't float your boat, you can always search for other ones. But Yeah, that's what. In fact, I just felt it. You can't see that screen anymore, but I had read that the Pi 4s get pretty toasty, so I've got the heat sinks, even though Mike doesn't like it. It's crooked, but the heat sinks in the fan, and it seems to be doing okay. So call in via Zoom. I could try a Zoom, but To, with the way my luck's been working tonight on this video, and we'll call those learning experiences, I'm afraid to open Zoom at the moment. So Pi 4 also US. So yeah, in fact, I'll go ahead and you've got 4 USBs, the Ethernet, like I said though, I will tell you, make sure that, and I learned this with the Pi 3s, make sure you use the right power supply with it. I sat there messing with the Pi 3s forever and thinking that they were horrible and whatnot, and turned out it was just the wrong power supply. Once I plugged in the right one, it was good to go. So, let's give it a shot. Let me see here. To wants to Zoom, so give me a sec. Alright. I don't have all the stuff for the YouTuber one, so I'm just going to make I am using the computer. Yeah, we know this. Oh, I gotta change my video source. Hang on, to my ghetto camera. Alright, so let's see, where am I? And let me hop out here. We'll see how much I regret this. Alright, so there's the Zoom. And there's me with the ghetto camera going, because, well, that's the camera that's there. So, Jason, feel free to, I know sometimes your internet's better than others. If you want to hop in there to answer their questions, have at it. How close is my POTA? Well, I've got one place that we POTA, and we're actually going to go out tomorrow. It's tomorrow. And activate it. It's kind of our go-to one. It's only a couple miles away, but we like to hit some new parks and whatnot. Becca McGrain. I have a feeling this isn't really Becca McGrain. All right, let's see if the audio works there. I hear you. Do y'all hear Steve-O in there?
How's it going, guys?
They'll throw it in the chat that they can hear you, because I did absolutely no testing on this, obviously. So we'll see how that goes.
Let me change my name. I'm not Becca.
And then anybody else who wants to hop in there, if Jason wants to hop on there, if he can answer some questions on that stuff.
Ape's giving me grief already.
Yeah, you got to love some ape, but that's because you don't have a Miller Lite in your hand.
Nope.
No, you got I'm telling you, dude, that stuff is way too. I've still got one. It's just too sweet.
It ain't great. It ain't bad.
All right, Miss Swagata is in the house. Speaking of cool mother-in-laws, that's my cool mother-in-law right there. Not able to get in. What's it giving you for a message there? Maybe you're in the. I don't see where you're. It doesn't even have you as trying to admit, so.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
But any questions y'all want to throw out there, we can. I'm not sure why Jason can't get in.
So how many Raspberry Pis do you need for the school club?
That's kind of one of the needs a password. Seriously? Hang on.
Yeah, password's embedded in the link there, but I wouldn't put it in the, in the chat.
And I'll make it go away. By the time those people see it in the other one, it'll... Oh, let's not put that there. Let's put that. I'll throw that link there again, see if it... It should work, though. It's the same link that TO came in.
I special.
I don't know why it says you need a password for it. Let's see if that one wants to go. I don't know. Tio, you just clicked the link in there, right?
All I did was click the link, and then it opened up another tab in my browser, and then it asked me if I wanted to open Zoom, and here I am.
Yeah, so I don't think it's the truncated link because that's how Tio got in.
I mean, it's truncated on the screen, but so don't copy and paste. Just click on it.
Yeah, just click it. Are
YouTube
you on
truncates links.
Yeah, are you on your computer or your Mac, or are you on your phone? I know last time we zoomed you were on your phone, I think. So there we go. Well, we're going to assume that's you. There we go. All right, we have the master. So questions for the master here. If y'all have any other question, like I said, guys, I appreciate y'all's help getting those couple little quirky things. Let's see. Linda Hart. Don't know this. Let's see who Linda Hart is. All right, Lynn, can you hear us? I think we have our first question for you in the house. If it's
beware of Zoom bombers, Steve.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing at the moment.
Have your finger on the trigger.
So,
say something, Jason.
Hey,
he's here. All right,
I finally made it in. It was something I fat fingered.
It happens. You saw me trying to put those heat sinks on. So
you're driving Mike crazy.
Yeah, that's all right. It's good for him. But,
it doesn't take much to drive Mike crazy.
But yeah. So any questions for Jason on anything to do with his Raspberry Pi? He's kind of I figure you were about to Zoom bomb. You can always count on the ape to do that kind of stuff.
What are apes for? So how hard was it, Steve?
It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't too bad. It was, like I said, I skipped, and it was my fault. I just, I've got my notes of make sure I don't skip any steps here. And, of course, I didn't look at it, so I skipped the SSH step. And it's like, oops. So then we had to go back, and I needed a little help fixing the little host name thing and whatnot. But as we figured out, my Linux is weak. So
you got back up.
Well, that's what I figured. I knew Jason was here, and you had said before that you're good with Linux. So, and it's just a little bit, but yeah,
it's just picky about every single character.
Yeah, well, anytime you do something in, console, it's always that way. DOS is picky that way too. I guess that's why the GUI is so nice when you can click crap, and if it doesn't mess it up, then you're good. Was the version 3 of the build? Smoking Ape's asking.
Yes, that is version 3.0.2.
So, and Chuck Weinberg just says, great work. So, and it is. It's, even with the little hiccups that we had this evening getting it going, it's to get all of that stuff installed on. I mean, that would be a hot mess. It's just, it's nice being able to just get it going. And if you've not, my problem was I did one yesterday or day before yesterday to kind of test everything out to make sure it worked. And then when I went and reflashed one today, I ran into those little conflicts and whatnot because it was the same port or whatever. So, if you're just doing it from scratch, you won't run into any of those problems. So, Chuck Weinberg, good POTA video. Not sure who you're talking to. Oh, Jason. So, when in doubt, tab it out. So, But yep, any questions? Any other questions about how to get this stuff going? If what any of those pieces of software in there do, we've kind of got him captive for as long as we can keep him anyway. He tends to get busy, so.
One of the cool things about Build-A-Pi is it will install a hotspot. Once you've got that installed and configured, then you can take the Raspberry Pi into the field, boot it up, and then log into it with your cell phone or a tablet or another laptop. So it gives you some additional options when you're in the field, not to have to drag a keyboard, monitor and mouse with you.
Yes, I take the little, I don't know, it's a little convertible tablet, little Asus convertible tablet, and it's small enough I take it, but that's nice. I mean, it's a piece of junk computer. I only use it for logging, so that would be nice to be able to do that. So we're gonna have to try that on one of our next POTA activations there.
I run it in the field all the time with either an iPad Mini or a Fire HD 10.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember what version it is, but I've got a few Kindle Fires that we had to mess with to be able to use Google Play Store at school. I've got a few of those too. Can you use home Wi-Fi with the hotspot enabled? Abe asked.
Yes. Well, no, you can't use home Wi-Fi. You'd have to plug in a Cat5 cable. Then you can turn the hotspot on, and it will work over the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
But it will bridge the internet between the hotspot and the Cat5.
Okay. What else you got, Abe? You ain't stumped him yet. Abe's that kind of guy that he'll try to ask you just some weird question just to see if he can get you.
He might get me, but I'll come back to him tomorrow with an answer.
Agree. That's an awesome feature. Also, it's cool it turns itself on when it can't see a known Wi-Fi. So, what if you have a USB Wi-Fi adapter? It's Ape again.
You're going to have a lot of configuration to do.
All by yourself.
All by yourself, Abe. You're on your own. Of course, yeah, Abe's the one that was saying, the Linux was weak with me. So I have a feeling Abe has a skill or two in that department.
Yeah, so if
Probably
you
so.
had Wi-Fi adapters, you could definitely make that work, but it'd be all in the configuration all by yourself.
The only reason I can think of that you might want to do that is if you wanted to add a external Wi-Fi antenna, maybe to increase the range. That might be, it's really the only thing I could think of that would be a reason to use that.
Okay. And then Don Izzo, he gave me one as an option. And yeah, he gave me some of these DV access dongles too we got to play with some of that stuff. School's supposed to start allegedly next Wednesday. We'll see. And so I don't know how long I'm going to get to see the kids at the beginning, but we'll get started right away with some of them. So Smoking Ape knows how to 3D print a G90 stand. Yeah, I saw that on your post earlier. The stand looks pretty nice.
Stand, yeah.
So and you even got some little heart stickers. That was so nice, Ape.
So, hey, Steve, do you want to tell him that you're going to be my guest Monday night?
Hey, I'm going to be his guest Monday night. So I get to do some ham nuggets. So we had the buffet tonight, and we get the ham nuggets Monday. So
get a little snack on Monday before the big buffet.
And it's not my show, which means I can drink coffee and other things at the same time.
Drink whatever you want, brother.
So tonight
when
I
are
was
you
like,
coming on, Jason?
What's that?
I said, when are you coming on, Jason?
Oh, I don't know. We can probably work it out soon.
All right.
Now you got to understand. Now To can talk, so you got to you've got to reserve a couple hours for a stream with To.
We'll go for at least an hour and a half, or until I get bored with you.
So, all right. Well, yeah, it'll only be about 30-minute show then.
So, but Sam says we need more nuggets. So, all right.
Pack.
We can start the 13th, maybe. Yeah, Bill's a teacher in Oklahoma, if I remember right, Bill. But they're starting the 13th. They're actually staggering the way we're starting school. Our elementary kids don't start until the 10th or whatever, and then we're starting Wednesday with half the kids, and then not having them come Thursday, and then the kids come the other half come Friday, and it's going to be interesting. We'll see how that goes. So, all right. Any other questions for Jason? I don't want to keep him all night because he tends to stay busy, I've learned. So we'll definitely be there for the second part. So, all righty. Well, I guess if there are no other questions, we'll go ahead and shut this bad boy down. And like I said, I appreciate y'all being here, guys. I appreciate your help getting that thing going. Like I said, that's part of why we experiment in ham radio, and that's what's great about, especially the bunch of guys in the YouTubers bunch, is we generally are in each other's streams. So if somebody runs into a hiccup, we got backup, and we can figure it all out together. So, but I appreciate it. If you're not already subscribed to TO's channel or to Jason KM4ACK's channel, head over there and subscribe. Also, Jason spent a lot of time on this this package itself, so feel free to throw him a little love on Patreon too, because he has definitely done a good job with this, and is completely free. So throw him a little tip or whatever floats your boat there. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. If you're interested in getting any of that Raspberry Pi stuff, those links are down below. Andy said, how many pies do we need for the school club? Andy, when it comes to how many things we need for the school club, it's more just we kind of just scrounge and get what we can get. We've got, I think, 17 people in the club right now. Like the radio Don sent, that's going to Club Kid. I try to have enough Baofangs to hand them out to kids to be able to use them. So, that's, if you've got gear you're not using that you just want to throw in a box, we're not going to say no. So, Kyle's in the house.
Hey, Kyle.
Made it late. He had a tennis game, I'm sure. But again, I appreciate y'all being here. Make sure, like I said, head over to their channels, give them a sub, and y'all take care, and we will see y'all on the air. 7-3, guys.